EG technology screens. I'm doing a bit of this demonstration for some customers and also for a company. We make a black professional screen paint that allows you to operate on low-end projectors. You don't need high expensive projectors. None of that's necessary. You have 100% contrast. You have beautiful colors, no calibrating, none of that. Zero picture washout. And we can operate this screen paint in multiple environments, which means we're in commercial environment right now. I'm actually in the office. We can also do this at commercial sites, restaurants, other types of businesses. It doesn't have any effect. It doesn't wash out. Mind you, projectors we're using, a particular projector we use on the site a lot is an Epson PowerLight S6. It's a projector that cost me $16.25. That's it. It's like a very cheap projector. And that's pretty much all I paid for when I got it. So right now we're using a NEC, I'll get the model number. I did post the model number. It's an NEC projector. I got this projector for 60 bucks. So I paid for it. And we don't have to, like I said, we don't need high-end projectors. We don't need, it's not necessary, but if you have one of these projectors, at least you can get what you paid for, at the end of the day. You can at least get what you paid for. Now, we got a tile system set up here. So basically, the ultra short throws are really refined. They pick up everything. But the screen actually speaks for itself. I will be replacing this screen with a larger screen. We actually got a fixed frame screen coming in pretty soon, 150 inch. They're put in here and take this one out. But it just shows you that, yeah, we can pick up in fully lit environments, especially with ultra short throws. It's a very easy demonstration to do. That's why we're on site. We're doing demonstrations on the Epson PowerLight S6, and that projector's got a distance throw, and we can pick up in a fully lit environment with no problem, especially some of the areas we go into are very, very extremely well lit. So we're used to it because we do a lot of demonstrations in fully lit environments. Now, if you have an ultra short throw projector, you should never be in the dark with this thing. An ultra short throw projector is supposed to replace a TV. So you should be to operate the exact same way as you do a TV. As you've seen in the demonstration, I pulled my cell phone out. I showed the owner, like, look, it's basically matching the cell phone. It matches the screen. This is a problem he was having when he first had projectors in there, that he just couldn't get them to match the TVs that were in there because they were completely washed out. And this is where he decided to go full throttle with the TVs instead, because he just wasn't getting that crystal clear image. Another thing I can't express enough, and gray screens get upset about this, you got to read black levels. It's very important. What if they're doing something with some stars or whatever pops up? They can't manipulate the environment for the screen. It's just not going to work. Like in here, we can't manipulate environments in here. It won't work with the technology. I still got to write documents. I still have to work in here at the end of the day. So I need to read everything that I'm writing, everything that I'm signing, so that way I know what I'm doing in here. I can't be in like a medieval dungeon environment. It's just not going to work. So you have to be to operate. You have to be to pick up all your colors, different color shades, not only just the contrast levels, but you have to be to read the dark colors too also. That also comes with it. So very important to be able to read that with no problem whatsoever. Very important. And this is the benefit of our technology. Not only can we back our products up online, but we can go off site, go to other places, and show our products right there. I have to probably go to another location. Now we're sharing those videos. Those videos are tight shop videos at the end of the day. And I pray and put this in God's hands that, He protects us while we're doing this, because for what a lot of people don't know is we had some, well, we still do. We have trolls that will literally contact these businesses and make them rough for them. And that's wrong at the end of the day. You should not do that type of stuff. If you're that jealous, or you're that, I don't know what you call it, of a product, how about you make a product? How about you work hard, pull up your sleeves, make a good product? Because keep in mind, as I told you before, there's what we have in place to catch these individuals for doing this. We are already going to court already for multiple individuals who did things they shouldn't have did. And this is going to be very expensive lawsuits, and some of this could be very lengthy prison time. Not worth it. Especially for something that, again, is protected by God and will continue to flourish. So here we are doing some demonstrations here. Like I said, on the ultra short throw. Do you need to spend money for expensive projectors? Not really. And if you already have a high-end projector already, at least you're getting what you paid for. Because no matter what you buy at the end of the day, like I said, I looked at the P2. P2 can't read a contrast level. Too many to one, you can't read it. I've talked to people on forum sites who have those projectors, and the first thing I ask them is turn on all the lights for me and show me this link right here. They can't do it. Can't read a star field because they can't read the contrast level. That's why. Let's go over to star field screensaver. Now, as you've seen in the demonstrations that we've done offline and other business establishments, that you can clearly see if the technology came up as black as one person claimed it or other people claimed it to be, it would be virtually impossible for us to read in that environment. It wouldn't even match my cell phone, so that would have happened. So as you can see clearly, those demonstrations were done out of pure hatred and jealousy for our company, as you can see. But other than that, our technology you can read just about any place you put it at. Now, the difference between this one and the SVGA, the SEGV screens are front and rear technology. They do read in actual sunlight out in the daytime. It's the first daytime projection screen. This is a screen paint product. It's completely different. It basically can read environments such like this or commercial environments as you saw in the demonstrations. But outside in the daytime hours, we suggest between 6 to 7 to fire that up outside. So there we are with our contrast levels. 4K snow screensaver cottage. I got to go back to another location. We're going to be doing in that location the benefits of our technology versus a white screen. Also, too, white gray screens are useless in these environments because, again, you have to read the contrast level, and these companies are just not going to darken the environment to accommodate the screen. So, difference between commercial and home theater setup. Also, too, in the home theater, you should be able to turn your lights on. Like, you should be able to. Also, too, I want to get some shots on gray screen versus our product on site because, again, very important. Contrast level is very important. So as you can see with the NEC projector, we're able to read our white levels nice and bright on our technology. As you can see with no problem. 4K demonstrations, OLED. I'm literally doing a demonstration right now majority of most of the high-end projectors right now can do on $60 worth of hardware. Let me see. Nope, I didn't ask you for all that. It's not like the Fire Sticks get wonky. Literally asked for this and they gave me something else. That's not what I asked for. You're on the page already. Why would you send me back to search if I'm automatically clicking on that? Doesn't make any sense. And then you gave me a whopping 20 in there? Woo, man. It's a whole freaking movie in there almost. Now, my projector doesn't require any calibration. We never calibrate projectors, ever. Even when we're on site, we don't calibrate them. For what? What's the point of calibrating? We read all the colors. Not necessary. White levels, I can see without the white level technology, we wouldn't be able to read anywhere we go. We just wouldn't be able to pick up. The screen would come up straight black. You wouldn't be able to read anything at all whatsoever, which again, not a good idea for some people who went out and did demonstrations about my products, claiming that our technology came in too dark. This is going to hurt you a bit, a lot. As you can see, we're going in multiple locations, showing the screen off. And yeah, also too, anyone who made the comment that we're using special software in our phones, that's a doozy of a lawsuit, just so you know. So kind of hard to do when you have a bunch of people sitting around you all staring at the same screen. We were in a crowded restaurant when we did those demonstrations. You can hear a lot of people in the background. Yeah. Got to go to a couple of crowded establishments and do the same thing all over again. So it would be virtually impossible for me to go in these environments and do this because the screen wouldn't work. Yeah, or someone got on a YouTube channel and lied about our work. And this is why we got lawyers and the courts involved. But anyway, getting back to the customers, which is most important. So we are going to make it, what we're going to do is, because I wanted to go to B2B, so what we're going to do is we're going to do both. I'm going to do B2B and customers. So we can basically deal with our customer base online, and we can deal with business to business. So while I'm out there doing the demonstrations with business, we're going to be posting demonstrations of different locations we're at. We're not going to show the stores and all that information, but we are going to basically show tight shots of the screens. You can see exactly how it's operating in different environments. So that's fantastic for our online. And then basically with that, we can do both. We're going to do both online and we're going to do both offline. Right now, I'm doing business with somebody overseas right now on buying the Apex Gamer. We've seen that thing in the restaurant. That thing looked just like a TV. You see me pull my cell phone up? I told you, they were pulling their cell phones up. They were asking for the link of the video, and they're pulling their cell phones up. We had 4 people in there looking at their screens like, wow. Some of them have never seen a black screen before. Of course, the black screens are rare. So again, you have to be able to back this up. That's why I said, if you're doing demonstrations with calibrated machines and dark environments, you've seen the outcome of the church. Calibrated machine and dark environments. No, you should not do that. You should be the walk-in environment set up with a projector that costs pretty much under $20 and do that demonstration of fully lit environment. Easily. No calibration, none of that stuff, just right from the door. And that's what they want to see. They don't want to see, well, you got to calibrate it. The consumer is already paying money already out for you. And then you're adding an extra cost on top of that. Because he's going to have to spend more money for a projector. I don't want to tell him that, hey, look, in order to operate this, you're going to need that 3,000 lumen projector, or you're going to need something like that. No. You can spend under $20. Like the $20 in my pocket is what I paid for this machine. That's what they want to hear. No extra costs. Talk to dozens and dozens of store owners. They don't want to pay extra costs. Because they're always thinking, is there a catch? Is there going to be interest on it? Whatever. Like, no interest, nothing on it. No, just set it up and you're done. That's it. Larry, it's so, the projectors are so affordable to do this, we can give them to you. And that's what we're doing. A couple of strips, we're giving them projectors. It don't cost us anything. The setup. So I'm buying the projectors for both of that setup. I'm buying the one for the window and I'm buying on the screen because it don't cost me anything. Now look at the image. We're pulling this off a $60 ultra short throw projector. No dark environment. As you can see, we're in commercial. We're a much brighter environment than the average home. And we could read it crystal clear with no problem on our technology. No color fade, no color washout, 100% contrast, beautiful white levels. This is how your ultra short throw projector is supposed to function. When I see influencers on there and they're showing up this Epson or whatever projector they're showing off, and there is, let's show you the contrast levels. And I watch the environment go dark and I go, oh, wow, that just ain't worth my time of buying the thing. Because at the end of the day, why in the world do I want to buy something that's supposed to replace a TV, but I'm going to be in the dark the entire time? That light should not go off. If you're back in the TV, your lights don't go off. I got to do ultra short throw demonstration pretty soon on site. I did that in the Caring place. That's why they were so furious at that place. The biggest mistake I made, and you learn from experience in business, the biggest mistake I made when I was in the Caring place is when we did the video outside, I got an image popped up of the building's number. And these guys decided to go in and taunt this woman. But like I said, at the end of the day, remember, she's a Christian. We're Christians. You attacked a Christian. And one thing it says in the Bible, don't touch my anointed. Anointed. Don't touch them. Very, very strict, stern warning from God. Don't touch my people. And you did. So you imagine the outcome that's coming. That's why I said at the end of the day, these lawsuits that are going through, the Lord already let it be known that every single individual involved in this activity will be brought before judgment. And you're coming. You can't defy God. So, it's going to happen. It's your choice in between the judgment on what you do, what crossroad you choose. Either you repent and basically pick up your cross and serve God, or you continue on with Satan and you know what the outcome will be. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. I got to do some sports and some stuff on here. If we got a few people, we have to use ultra short throws because of the environment where it's at. And on top of that, some people don't want the long throws because you're bouncing off the back of people's heads, but they don't have the ceiling lift for it. Now, if you got the ceiling lift for it, we can bring the projection screen all the way up, bring the projector up. That'll bypass anybody walking past. But if you don't have the ceiling lift for it, then that means what we're going to have to do is have to throw in an ultra short throw. And their environments are bright, but our environments are way brighter than theirs. That's how we can read these beautiful colors. Let's get some of, I got to be in a couple places in there. Football highlights, because we see these little screens. People have like 7 or 8 of these little screens all around their entire establishment. The thing about it is, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. How many people walk in and see a 150-inch screen on display? Yeah, there you go. Especially a black one. So that's going to draw attention automatically from the door. They're like, yeah, they got a 150-inch screen. So like projection screen? Like, yeah, it's a projection screen. But here's the kicker. It's black. Yeah, there you go. That's what, when people were looking at the screen, when we set it up in the, and we set the screen up, they were just staring at it because I had it off. And they were like, you get the screen on backwards. I said, what do you mean it's not backwards? That's the front of the screen. They're black. It's a black projection screen. Oh man, I can see the brain ticking right in there. It's the same way my mind was ticking when I thought the Diamond had a black screen, and still for a gunmetal was super ultra dark. It was. So it was just baffling. Like, how in the world are they getting something out of this? Because I was dealing with all light gray paints at one point. So I just found it fascinating. When it came on, I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. Never seen anything like this before. And that's the same reaction we're getting with the black screens. We got the fire stick running through this right now, because I have to do some fire stick demonstration. So this is how the game should be looking. You should never have to turn on any lights. If I throw an ink pen in the middle of my floor, I should still be able to see it. Now, if you got a sports bar, this is fantastic. Because instead of you having these multiple little TVs all over the place for people to try to see, especially if you're sitting back 12 feet away from the screen. If you're sitting up close, you're good, but you know those tables are already taken from the door. So if you're a little farther back, if you got to find a TV that's located in your area so you can see it. They got to wrap TVs all around that thing just to make sure that anywhere anyone's sitting at, they can hit a TV. That's a lot of installment, where you can have a screen that can cover the entire wall. Everybody's going to see that. No matter what, everybody's going to see that. And with your projector cost, we paid $60 for this one. $60. So even if you went out and say, okay, you know, Bird, I don't want to spend, or Mr. Bird, I prefer that. If you don't want to spend $60 and you got the money because you got a business in the day. If you don't want to spend $60 for a projector, you can go and spend $1,500 for one if you want to spend one. You got Ultimate GT 5500, which should be around $1,300 right now, or $1,200 in that range. But get one of those. I took one of those outside at 140 inches outside. So if I'm able to take that projector outside at 140 inches on a Supreme 8, yeah, this right here to cakewalk. This is much more advanced than the Supreme 8. Let's see. Let's go over to, 4K demonstrations, Skyworth food demonstration. And you can advertise that. We have a black projection screen. I mean, people will come in just to see that because they've never seen them before. So, see that background? 100% black every single time. My projector has a 4,000 to 1 contrast. That's it. Do we care? No, we don't need it. Now, for people who want to spend a little more money, at least you're getting what you paid for. And for people that have a sports bar, maybe you don't want to spend $1,500 for a projector. You have to? No, you don't. We do our projectors for under $200. You can get an Epson projector. Epson makes some amazing projectors. You can get one of those for roughly around $150, $80. I saw one for $60. You know, get one now, and it'll work perfectly fine. We take an Epson right now, walking around, a long throw at that. We take a long throw Epson at $16. That projector in the video is 600 by 800 720p SVGA. And it's not even running through an HDMI port, we're running through an adapter system to run the equipment through. So if we can read that with that, you can read that with pretty much anything. Now we advise you that if you're going to be using projectors with this particular type of technology, we do advise you use name brands only. One of the things we will ask you when you email us is what is the name of your projector. We couldn't care less about the lighting because the technology can handle it, or what's the name of your projectors we need to know. Once we know that, we can send you the link and you can make the purchase. We do have free shipping. We ship in 32 ounces only now because of the, we want to make it ship overseas, and Express is expensive on anything else. But we do it at 32 ounces. 32 ounces, like most screen paints, they paint 120 inch. Ours does 150. So from 150, 100 inch to 150, you can paint the screen in. It is a one coat application and you're done. That's it. That's all. I painted screens in here, drying the screen with a air cleaner. A little small fan can dry this big screen right here. Now watch the soccer game. Watch this. This is what it's supposed to look like. So you should have no problem being able to pick up, especially the machine that guy had today. It's a very powerful projector. See the grass, different shades. You can actually see when you go back. That's one of the things you got to watch. When you look at gray screens and white screens, people don't see this. People work on projection screens. We see every single detail. Every single detail. Watch this. You see it there? There's multi shades. You see dark shades and light shades firing off, right? On the turf. When I look at a gray and white screen, we don't see that pattern. We see one color only because you can't read the darker levels. But there are stripes right there and there and there. Just stripes. You can see it. That's when they cut the grass. It does that. They have that kind of design to it, that pattern. You should be able to read that. So when I look at it, you're showing a soccer game, you're thinking at the end of the day that you're fooling me. Actually, no, you're not fooling me. I'm looking at the grass. The grass is telling the story whether you're seeing that shade or not. So if you're not picking up that darker shade of green, you can't read that. Also looking at your environment too at the same time, because the environment should never be that dark, ever. It's an ultra short throw. Right now, any ultra short throw demonstration you're watching right now on YouTube should be in the exact same environment that we're operating in, because they're supposed to replace TVs. They should never be in an environment that dark. Let's go over here and let's grab this one. See, all the white text, everything reads perfectly fine. It reads perfectly. Sorry about that, people. So as you can see, that the Lord has come and has outed those who made comments about the apex. I told you, very jealous of our products. They would be virtually impossible to be able to pull up in that environment if that screen did what it claimed. With that being said, gentlemen, Monday morning, we file. Now, for those people who cannot afford a high-end projector, do you need one? No. Go get one of those right there. I actually did a demonstration where I did the entire house. I did the top floor, bottom floor, walked around, all the projectors were firing off. See? You should be able to pick that up right there with no problem. If you have this ash, and one of the things I showed, a customer sent me a picture of this, just like this, the same demonstration you sent me, just like this. He has a, I think, P2. I think it's a P2 projector he has. We support the projector he has. I got to see that projector. And he had this grayish ash around the sides of the screen. That means his contrast levels aren't reading correctly at all, period. He has a very powerful projector. A good one, too. A very good model machine. But he's not picking up the contrast level. The projector can't see it. And then he showed me this right here. This is one of the ones he showed me. I can literally see the gray around the screen. And to the customer, this is how your screen's supposed to read. My projector costs far less than yours. And this is what I can pick up. So I know it's your machine at the end of the day. That screen is going to look incredible. And thank you so much. We appreciate the order. Now, if you're overseas, don't worry about shipping. We pay for all shipping overseas. We do a ship express. Overseas, all shipping now has been converted to express. Much faster and quicker, and it comes with a tracking number. And the reason why we chose the express shipping, because we did have a problem at one point. I don't know what was going on. I've been shipping for years overseas. about not being able to track tracking numbers. That's a freaking nightmare for a customer to go through. You can't find your item. That would drive me nuts at the end of the day. I couldn't get a tracking number. So what we did was we basically decided to take more money out and just pay for express shipping. Express shipping comes with tracking, and we can track you anywhere in the world. We know where your package is going to land at. You know, you're good to go. So you don't have to worry about that whole nonsense we went through with the United States Postal Service. We now have Express, which is much more advanced now, quicker to get your items, and you do have tracking. And it's all free shipping by us. So as we go along, we're going to be showing off more locations of the Apex, showing off in different environments how the screen operates, and we're still going to be using our $16.25 projector to do these demonstrations. To show you that you don't spend a lot of money, and this is what you should be getting. This is what you should expect you should be getting. And the reason why, like I said, a lot of these companies are upset with us because they can't tell you that you can't do this and can't do that unless you spend more money. You can say, well, hey, Mr. Bird is in there with $16.25 Epson projector. He's picking up with no problem. Why can't you do it? And for the companies, please be careful. Don't say things you can't back up. You never know, sorry about that, who I hired that may be sitting at your front door watching and listening to everything you say to prepare you for a potential lawsuit. Not worth it. If you can't back your product up clear to ours, then you're just going to have to invent something that can. That's all. It's better than that than getting in the face with a lawsuit. But to the customer, this is what you should get. All that shenanigan nonsense they've been telling you, that you have to be in dark environments, you have to be in ambient light control, you have to spend more money for expensive projectors, and nonsense. We're doing it at here at $60. I don't know why, but if I had a dragon like that, I think I would name him Frank. Like, literally, his name is Frank. Hey, Frank. He looks like a Frank. I don't know why. Just look at Frank to me. I don't think he'd be happy with the name. He probably wants something really crazy, you know what I mean? But, like, we bring on our dragon, Frank. Like, really? It doesn't even sound right. I don't even sound the right name. Frank. What's me scared of Frank? It's like a Frank to me. That's all. I don't know why. Let's get some more. So in that one, we had to go in there first because it said, when I contacted the guy, he said, well, so the screens are black. He was like, black. How does it even work? I said, well, you know, we showed him a couple of videos. Videos are nice, right? He loved the videos. He loved the demonstration and all that. But, you know, since he's there, might as well walk it down. So that's what I did. Packed all my equipment up. I walked over there. We had to take a lift the first way up because, yeah, I'm doing them hills. Some hills are freaking crazy over here. But anyway, got the lift up here, walked in, set up all the equipment, and then poof, hit the screen, and that was it. That's all it took. And he was just staring at it. His wife was staring at it. The cook in the back was staring at it. The customers were all staring at it. Because when I was sitting at the screen, the guy was like, hey, buddy, you got the screen around backwards. And I was like, no, this is the screen. He's like, what? He said, that's the screen. It's black. So when that thing fired up, they were like, wow. And I pulled my cell phone out and put it next to the screen. I said, look, matches my cell phone. Yep. They even went to the monitor. They have a monitor in there. They put the monitor on. Matches the monitor too. But the difference in that technology is that his screen size that we're putting in there is 5 feet by 12 feet. It's huge. We're going to use a ViewSonic projector like I have here on the floor. And we're going to go in there. We're going to do a 235.1 setup for him and his customers. So instead of him having this little 40-inch he has in there, he's got a massive 5 feet by 12 feet screen in there. Yep. Want to go with the Skyworth food demonstration? There we go. We did this on site in one other place. And I'm going to be picking up a $65 Epson projector. We're going to do things on that projector that the Epson LS800 can't do. And it's an amazing, good present. The LS800 is an amazing piece of technology. The problem is that the screen that's going to display on kind of shortens the projector's capability to show you what it can actually do. We're going to do it on an Epson, an old projector. And we'll show you exactly all the stuff we can do on it that you should be able to do on your projector. And if you own that projector in the day, it goes to show you that, hey man, I own that projector. Like, this guy's over here doing this on this cheap projector, and I can't even get that. There you go. There's your wake-up call. You should easily be able to get that on that machine. You can see the levels come up nice and bright. You can see the individual fruits, all that. Yeah, if I were to stick black paint against that screen, it would damage my screen. So for the individual who did the demonstration, call himself doing an honest review in your dark apartment. We were in several different commercial environments, not with a P2 expensive $3,000 projector, with a projector that was a long throw that cost me $16.25 with a ton of witnesses that were staring at that technology run. So who is wrong here in this situation? This would be you. And this is the reason why these lawsuits are so heavy, and this is the reason why we're filing 5 criminal complaints against the fellow on YouTube who made those comments. 5 criminal complaints are being filed against him for committing fraud against our business. They're not complaints, they're more like court cases they're being filed. So we're doing a few demonstrations on Ultra Short Throw today. I thought I'd whip out the Ultra Short Throw sitting on the floor, like, let's throw it over against the screen, because it says on our site we're Ultra Short Throw compatible, right? So, you know, we have videos on there of Ultra Short Throw compatible, but I thought we'd bring it over here. I haven't done this wall yet. Oh. See where the image slants right there? This is what I mean at the end of the day. It's also a good example, too, to talk about why you have to have perfectly flat walls when you're running Ultra Short Throw projectors. Because if your walls are crooked, some people thought it was the projector's issue. And they thought their walls are perfectly flat. No, it's not the projector's issue. If your wall is not perfectly flat, an Ultra Short Throw will tell you the wall's not flat. That's why you have to go out and get yourself a fixed frame screen and a leveler, which means you'll have to pull it out just enough to level off to make it flat and keep storing it in. I've had to go through that several times doing Ultra Short Throws. If you get a motorized projection screen that's tension, it's going to lay flat, but it's going to lay away from the screen that will get away from the wall. That means the wall can't throw it off balance. Those are nice to have, but the problem with those is they're just very expensive. That's the problem. 4K snow screensavers, that's the only problem. Very, very expensive for that setup. Hopefully one day we get to the point we have our own, we can charge you a very reasonable price. Same price you would pay for a projector that will be, what's the word for it? That would be like a regular everyday projector. Would cost the same price our tabbies would cost, which would be a much more affordable than spending like $6,000 for a freaking tabby that's 120 inches. I think they're very expensive. Even the generic ones are very expensive. So as you can see in this demonstration, we're picking up multiple shades of white. The roof's a different white, the back is a different white level color, and we have the snow and all that other good stuff involved with it. That's another thing I was asked about in there. What about the white levels? White levels involve color. Definitely involve color. That's why we do that demonstration. We're sitting roughly 16 feet from the screen in a fully lit environment. We show the black paint. We show a white surface. It shows that the screens can pick up color balance. High enough red so it can actually overshadow the white screen. Picks up a high enough white level. It doesn't come out looking like the black paint. Very important demonstration to do if you're making black screens. It's all in that snow. Give me a cup of coffee. Let's walk towards the screen. Little snow fox over there. Is what they call it. Is how people say it, it has a round, friendly shape, but not friendly. So you can see we have to go through this every time. Anytime I have somebody come in here, anytime I'm out there, we have to show off our white levels. This is the reason why this is one of the things I never see in a gray screen. I don't see gray screens in fully lit environments say, hey, look, let me show you a star field demonstration. I've never seen that, ever. Anyone ever else seen that? Nope. They'll turn all the lights out and they show you, there's my contrast level right there. No, buddy, you got to do that with the lights on. And not just him. I've seen, like I said, the most upsetting one I think I've seen. This is a screen that was claimed to be ambient light projection. I literally watched them show up the screen with all these lights off in the environment when the projector was off. Then the minute the projector comes on, every single light just about went out. I'm like, what happened to the ambient light projection technology? Some beautiful snow there. Bum, 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 bum. So now you really have to spend all that money for a projector. I got a Dell sitting on the floor. I got to put a new lamp in it. I paid $31 for that one. That was actually cheaper than this one. I get that up and going. Put a lamp in there. We're going to use the Dell too. I paid $31. So that is the cheapest ultra short throw I own right now. I think the cheapest long throw I have is the Sony. I paid $10 for that, which I'm bringing on site with me too. Excuse me. I'm going to love talking about a $10 projector. I paid $10 for a projector. And I want to do that in a demonstration. We use it over here all the time. Sony, we used it in the last demonstration. We did the multi-setup. We did a $10 projector in here. Oh, let's get this one here. Might as well, right? Now how? On a P2 projector, far more advanced than my machine I have here, was he able to pull up our paint, claiming our product, who came up so ultra dark you couldn't even see the screen. And yet, we were just a few minutes ago, yesterday, was inside of a restaurant showing off the technology to the owner and his customers. The screen could read perfectly high white levels with no problem whatsoever. That means at the end of the day, somebody did something that they shouldn't have did in a demonstration to try to slander us. Monday morning, we'll make sure those videos are submitted. Little small town. What if I could build? I had to get back to my build over here. I was really supposed to be getting back to things, but we got caught up in so much stuff. I'll have some free time in there. I got another YouTube channel. I'm working on some YouTube channel, but I do want to do one strictly around cardboard. Man, that'd be a cool little town to build out of cardboard. Little lights and stuff and all that stuff. Yep, I'll get back to it. I'm coming back to you guys, I promise. Just got some stuff I gotta do first. Let's get some other areas. Yeah. So, we are going to do both. I got a buddy who's going to be running the site over here, so he can operate all that. Any orders that come through, can take care of that. And I'll be on the other end because I got to walk out there and I got to do these demonstrations. I have to go to these establishments to do this stuff. So I can't be here and there at the same time. So he's going to take over that part from me. So you see him on camera? No, he's just basically behind the scenes. He's just basically any orders that comes, he processes all that. He knows all the information about the technology, answer questions and stuff like that. That's all. And then he's going to take care of any orders that come through on my end on this side. Because as we do videos out there, some of the videos I'm going to be sharing with YouTube, so you can see some of the stuff and what we're working on. And to people who basically slander our company, this is not good for you. You already know that from the door, right? For customers, this is to show that our technology does what it does. For you, this is potential evidence to sue you with bigger lawsuits. That's what that is for. And it also outs you as a liar. There is no rails there. See, this is the thing at the end of the day. I see stuff, I analyze everything. My brain sees something, starts analyzing stuff like, there's no rails there. Like, there is no rails. So there should be, I know this is just all what you're calling it. That's how my brain functions anyway. There should be a rail system right across there. What if you happen to fall off the side of that and get hit by a car? Like, there should be a rail system. See, it's the reason why I would have made a fantastic inspector because I just see all kinds of stuff and I analyze stuff like, yeah, that would freak me out to have a house that close to the highway, especially if I had kids. See, there you go. That's literally how my brain thinks. I look at stuff at the end of the day. I'm just analyzing the whole entire thing. Right there, literally should be a rail system up there, like honestly, because if you were to slip and fall, that'd be all you down there. They usually have rails up there anywhere. They have any kind of overpass like that, especially if there's a road up there. I definitely would not want to have a house there without rails. I've seen stuff in Allentown where literally there's an area, the hill just drops down. It's like a 90-degree incline, and there's a house on the other end of it. There's a turn, but there's a house there, and there's no form of iron security impact bars or nothing there. No, I don't know. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. That would just freak me out, man. It's something, especially snow and all. But I mean, I've seen a couple of crazy houses in some crazy positions, but no. I would definitely go to the city and say, look, man, I need some highly forced impact rails just in case. Because, woo, that's a bowling. It's kind of like bowling. It is. And you're the pins. So, yeah, I've seen some places. There is an area around here that's, every time I cut through it, man, it looks exactly like something out of GTA. It's like something out of GTA, like a mission you would go to a certain house. Man, it's pretty interesting. Okay, we're in that area right there. Let's go over here. We got some more stuff to check out over here. Got a nice snowy area right there. Oh, I like this. Relaxing. Would never be inside the house ever. Be out here running around somewhere. I definitely would reinforce that roof so I can basically jump off of it. I would put a ramp here on that one so I can hop that and then hop onto that roof and basically jump off and go down the side of the hill. I would do weird stuff like that. I would have fun with it. Just reinforce the roof on that side so I don't end up going through it. That'd be so much fun. Ah, that's beautiful. All right, let's go over and let's get some. Oh, we got the city black levels right here. This is what I mean by transition. Now, see how fast I'm able to transition from the white levels to 100% contrast back again. So if you're going to have a ultra short throw projector, you want it to react like a TV, it has to read 100% contrast to do it. If you guide a projector and so the projector comes with two, that doesn't mean jack. It's not going to work. Just not going to work. As you saw, somebody with a P2 projector couldn't pick up the LG logo in the background at 2 million to 1. They couldn't read it. Yeah, I kind of read up some stuff on the Star Crunch. Yeah, apparently people do pass out. The sugar content's like really, really high in those things. Let's stay away from that. Whew. AK Desired Nature. I'd be shocked if I get this. Usually I gotta fight for this one. 8K Desired Nature, Nature 8K, 4K demonstrations. So it just gives me Alaska. That's pretty much it. 8K Desired Nature, black makeup, 4K demonstration TV. Nope, not even close. Their video is weird. If they use anyone using 8K demonstrations, you got to put something in there before the 8K, because for some reason Fire 6 read it as an assault fire weapon or anything else, but it doesn't pick it up. Desired Nature 8K, 8K Desired Nature 4K demonstration. Like, I swear, I feel like I'm giving out code to a freaking airstrike at one point. carabines. Oh, definitely did that one right there. We got time. I'm only going to spend like a little bit on this one. I definitely want to do one. I'm going to do pre-records. The pre-records we have to do pretty soon because I have to show them off at different sites. What we can do with a $60 ultra short throw projector and how your projector should be operating. I go to different forum sites. I see them all the time with these projectors sitting in this dark environment. Like, what are you doing there with that machine? You're literally right on top of the screen. I go right on top of my screen right now. I should be able to read that with no problem. Oh, I forgot it's Sunday. We can turn the sun up a little bit here because there's no one in the office. That's where I can only record at. I can only record on Sundays because there's no one in the office Sunday. But at on Saturday, no, because we got people in the office. I don't want anybody hearing anything. I don't want to play it loud, but I want you to be able to hear it. So I'm going to bring speakers up to the desk so you can hear it better. Because basically I've been dubbing everything with music because the fans we have in here are loud. You ever heard any one of those videos before? I did. So we want to do more without using their music, especially with Facebook. I don't know what the deal with Facebook is sometimes. I swear. Facebook will give you... YouTube doesn't do this. I can say that about YouTube. YouTube gives you music you can use. But Facebook will give you a whole list of music you can have. And a lot of that stuff is licensed. And they'll go, here, take this music and use it. And you go to use it, and they'll say, hey, you got a copyright strike. Like, what? I have a copyright strike because you used that music. But you just told me I can use it. They do that stuff at the end of the day. You got to be careful about that. But at least on the good side about it, you can fight it in court because you can see it right there in their policy where they're saying you can basically go in and use the music, but then they send you a strike saying you can't use it. Y'all bipolar. So, no. And then, this is my own fan site. I set up. It's a fan site. It's designed for me to post what I want on it. I post 10 videos. They say I'm spamming. How the frick want to spam it on something that's my own site? Yeah, that nonsense. So, yeah. Well, let's not all drink from the crazy pool at one time. Let's everybody take their chance. Drink slowly. Gee whiz Louise. I saw that, was like, you've got to be kidding me, right? I don't pay any mind. The minute they basically monetize me or anything pops up or anything happens, we just go to court over it. And look, I have it right here. You just told me I could. If you don't want me using the music, then don't put it up there. That's all. That's all. That's all you have to do. I've seen music on YouTube that sometimes just leave because I guess maybe the artist decided they don't want anybody downloading the music anymore. They just remove it. That's all they do. Ah, nice bright image on the ultra short throw. Oh, and let me give you a look at it so you can see that it is that projector right there. I don't want you to think at the end of the day we're using something special because we're not. This is my projector right there. That's the model number. That's an NEC right there. Go to the side of my screen. I can read perfectly fine. From top to bottom, it picks up nice and bright as it should. That's the angle gain on it. Come over here in the front. It should look exactly the same way. Same way. Taco's sitting there watching it like, hey, I'm watching this TV. I love it. Yep. AK Desired Nature 8K 4K demonstration, TV demonstration. There it is, we found it. Finally. Face of black woman with golden paint. Remember that one now. Now, this is for those of you who have high-end projectors with these outrageous contrast levels. This is literally what you should be able to read in a fully lit environment. If you're not getting this, contact us. I saw this demonstration being done first. That's how I found out about it. On a P2 projector in an ultra dark environment saying, look, I read contrast. Lie. If you're doing contrast levels on any form of screen paint, they have to be in fully lit environments, because in a dark environment, you can manipulate the environment, you can manipulate the outcome of the screen performance. By doing this, you're cheating the customer. Customer's going to go and do this in a fully lit environment because they were told their projector works like a TV. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to operate like a TV. And if your screen can't read a contrast level, they're going to be very upset. Because when they're buying it at, they're telling them one thing and you're telling them another thing. They're telling them that, hey, you spent $3 grand for this machine, you can operate in a fully lit environment like a TV, and you're telling them, hey, you know, you got to be in this ambient light controlled environment, you got to calibrate it. There you go. See, conflict. Or we tell them, well, you can do this. My projector has a 4,000 to 1 contrast. Not even close to 2 million to 1. Not even in the ballpark. It's not there. This also tells our customers at the end of the day that, hey, if I don't have the money, I don't have to basically save up to get this machine, because Mr. Bird came on here and did it at 60 bucks. Now, if you want to switch up to 4K, you can. If you want to switch up to 1080p, you can. It's up to you. Or at least at the end of the day, you're getting that 100% contrast without being stuck in a dark environment. At least you can use it like a TV. That's why we show you everything. We show you the dark colors. We show you contrast, which is important. And what's important, most important on a black screen, white levels. No, it's not one. Oh! Well, that's my fault. I had it. I bounced out of it. That's all I needed from it anyway. Get some bright colors. I'll get past that first. Get some bright colors on there. That's pretty much it. Yeah, you should be able to operate with no problem. Just like that, no problem. All your colors, everything read, you know what I mean? Full environment, no zero washout. You should be able to do that easy. An ultra short throw, you're right up on top of the screen. Anyone tells you have to calibrate ultra short throw, don't touch them. Anyone tells you have to be in a dark environment with ultra short throw, don't touch them. Why? First of all, I'll be looking like, wait a minute, I just paid all this money. Why am I going to be in a dark environment? You're going to stick me in the same dark environment as a long throw? That's the whole reason why I got the ultra short throw. It's going to be right up on the screen, works like a TV. You have a shorter distance throw when it comes to your images. When your color transfers out of your projector, whatever you're showing, it doesn't have to travel across 12 feet of room full of lighting, which means that image gets ripped up, it gets deteriorated by the time it hits the screen. You got nothing left by the time you hit the screen. And if your screen can't generate enough gain to be able to pick that image up, whatever's left of it, you're in a lot of trouble. That's why your image fades and washes out. But you're on ultra short throw. You're a foot away from the screen. You know the distance though at a foot? It ain't even there anymore. So if you can't read and you have to be in the dark, the same environment as a long throw, and you pay $3 grand for that thing, you're definitely getting cheated. But they'll just sit there and tell you that, oh no, that's normal, that's the way it is. No, it ain't. No, it's not. That's why they like to try to debunk Mr. Bird's videos and stuff so they can continue ripping you off. Well, Mr. Bird's not tolerating that nonsense anymore. Mr. Bird will see you in court. That's where you're going to end up at. You mention my name, these are people at the end of the day do dumb stuff. You mention my name, you say that my product doesn't work, this, that, and the other. Guess what? It's no YouTube back and forth. It's me, you, a judge, lawyer, whatever, in a courtroom. We're going to work this thing out. And I guarantee at the end of the day, you're going to lose a lot of money in the process. And if you did enough of these videos, then we're going to file criminal charges against you. So you know where this is going at. As for the customers, this is what you're supposed to be getting. Now, you see that goldfish over there swimming around? Nice, bright red, a white on the little fins, a little light blue on it. And you see how we pick up the 100% black level at the exact same time with a projector that has a roughly 4,000 to 1 contrast. That's why when I saw the Valve projector and it said 3,000 to 1, I was like, ugh. Why do you have 3,001 on a machine that new? 3,001? The older projectors, that's a 2011 model on the floor right now. 2011. 2012s have 4,000. That's considered to be was a hype back then. Now today, that's a freaking paperweight over there. And you have a projector that costs what, $3,700, and it has only a 3,001. Oh no, no. No. Gave it a beautiful chassis, a beautiful body and all. It's like if you take a Lamborghini has a gorgeous body, but you stick a hamster with a wheel in it. Yeah. Nice chassis, no power. Okay, put a little equalizer in there. Oh, equalizer. Oh, of course, commercial. And commercial on top. Did you just back up a commercial on top of a commercial? All right, people. Yes, we are taking people to the site. Yeah, we take orders on the website. You go to the websites, they're easy. Marketplace, buy here now. Right, matter of fact, we have it in the link now. And all the links we have, market here, buy here now. Click on there. You'll see tons of information on the product. We have we have roughly 8,000 on information on this product, including links. You can see the black versus black test. As a matter of fact, we have one of the largest tests of anybody else of showing our products matched against any type of product that doesn't match. Black paint, black fabric, different forms of black paint. We designed ourselves. Actually, I did a demonstration on a standalone showing you the trickery of fake black screens, where we actually did a mica mix with a little silver and white paint, which is usually how they make it, and then showing you on a standalone where they think it looks good, and then when we take and we put it against ours, it's dark and dirty. That's exactly what you're getting, a very dark and dirty image compared to ours. So when you make statements saying we had the same thing, be careful about that one too. That's a very hefty lawsuit. No, the minute I say lawsuit, they leave the room. Because they already, they don't want to hear it. Yeah, of course you don't. Yeah, because they're hefty lawsuits. Anyway, stay away from this. Don't ever touch that ever again. I got a full day today. I don't know if I'll be being drowsy on a sugar high. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Oh, before we go, we definitely got to do this one. LG snowboarding. That song gets stuck in your head, right? Oh, it does. Hold on for a minute. Yeah. Your fish. That's your fish. Your fish is going to kill me one day. I swear. It's going to kill me one day. I'm going to die on your fish. Literally. Why do you put that right next to the office, right next to my desk? Plants of fish here to take me out. Keep forgetting this thing has volume on it. I'm bringing it down a little bit. I think you can hear me. It muffles everything. I swear I played that thing so many times I can literally hear it in my head playing all day. Anytime I watch this demonstration on grand white screens, this is always done in the dark. Why? The transition. The transition when the LG logo pops up, that's all in black. They can't read it. So if you ever watch a demonstration, watch to the very end or skip to the very end, you'll notice that entire environment is dark because they have to be able to try to pick up an image when that LG comes up black. And the red fades too on top of that. Yep. Should be able to pick that up perfectly fine. Like the transition, go from bright whites and transfer over to a 100% black screen. That's what I saw when I watched the demonstration on the gray paint. That LG logo that pops up is black. I don't know why they would even make it gray. What do we got here for time? Oh, right near the edge. I wanted to show you. I got a couple of videos I got to do on this anyway. The $60 setup. So I'll just get ready to start doing those. see. 4K demonstrations, OLED.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, you can hear me now, can't you? I got the mics on here. Oh, man. That's a nice one right there. Bring up the phone on my head.
For tonight's entertainment, our former first mate will walk the plank.
Jeez, that's jacked up. I'm the entertainment for this freaking shing-ding? Oh, heck no. We got to go. That's not going to happen. Heck no. Former first mate? What the freak did you do to end up in that situation? You sit up there on the plank saying, you know what, I got to change my life decisions. This is just downright wrong. That's formal. Jeez. Man. He's fired me, put me back on land, something. We walked the plank. You know, they did that in shark-infested waters. That actually did one on. That walking the plank was actually something that did go on. I actually was looking at that. I was like, walk the plank. I looked at the research. I looked up a lot of crazy stuff. Research on that. Yeah, they put you in shark-infested waters when they did that. Because you drop you off. I mean, you may survive, you know. So make sure you didn't survive. They dropped in shark-infested waters all the time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you for coming out to check out what we got to show you. And as you've seen, I thank my Lord so much for this. I do. You know, watching these people come out and ridicule this screen paint, because clearly you can see they were just overwhelmed with jealousy about it. And then watching that, given the opportunity to show this off in a crowd of people in restaurants and different businesses to show that the Apex does work. You know, it just shows you the stuff we go through, because anything we develop or make, these guys are out there. The first thing to say at the end of the day, it doesn't work. And I thank my Lord that when I went to the courts to get that information, that they said, Mr. Bird, you can bring him here. When they said that, I said, it is on. It is on. So contact some friends of mine. I got a friend of mine who is an official cyber investigator. His job is to track and find individuals, mostly deadbeat fathers, that he finds, you know, track for child support, excuse me about that. And he is guaranteeing that he'll find each and every one of you. Him and his friends will find each and every one of you to bring you in for court. So thank you to the Lord for allowing that to happen. Because again, all we're trying to do at the end of the day is bring out better products and try to do this at an affordable price as much as we can. And so that you can have something that you can basically be proud of having, instead of you being trapped in this dark environment trying to figure out where the cat's sitting at, because my cat got to have it always being in the weirdest places when I'm walking around and stuff like that. You should get what you paid for, and you're not getting what you paid for. You're not getting what you paid for. After these demonstrations I watch on YouTube, you're not even close to what that machine can do. If we can get this out of a $60 ultra short throw, you sure enough should be able to get that out of a P2, Epson, a Samsung, LG. You should be reading beyond that. There's no way in the world you should be getting that poor image. So that's why they don't like us, because at the end of the day, you know, they want to continue doing what they do to rip you off. And we're just going to keep doing it today, showing you what our products do. But for those particular individuals, no more of this back and forth YouTube nonsense. We'll see you in court. That's how it's going to go down. You get back it up in front of a judge. All right, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you for your time. Gotta go, and God bless. Oh, of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology, because if it weren't for him, none of this would ever be possible. I gotta start doing the promo demonstration. Was short and sweet. Then I gotta go pop over to another location and do another demonstration on this screen right here. The Apex. Pretty soon we're gonna have the Legendary coming out pretty soon. This is a very beautiful paint. Fantastic for dedicated home theater room setups. It's strictly designed for that particular purpose. Not dedicated there, but I'm talking, if you're doing, if you're a movie buff and all that, that paint is gorgeous for that. So that's going to be coming out pretty soon. We'll be launching that one in April, and it will be available on the website for customers to buy. All right, with that being said, thank you for your time. I got to go, and God bless.